I've kicked my $28,000 high-tech drone into the lake. In my previous life, when my company held a team bonding session by camping out in the mountains, my colleague Melissa Schubert's beloved pet dog, the one she viewed as her own son, got lost in the woods. With tears trickling down her cheeks, she tugged at my sleeve and begged me to use my drone to find him. Eager to help, I powered it on and scanned the trees. But Melissa thought I was being far too slow on the controller, so she snatched it from me and started messing around with the controls. The drone spiraled out of control and crashed into the woods. The moment its battery exploded, it started a forest fire. Facing the police, Melissa threw me under the bus. Lauren was the one who kept flaunting her stupid drone. Not only did she set fire to the mountain, but she also killed my dog. I was hit with a massive fire insurance claim and a court sentence, leaving me with a criminal record. My dad took a construction job to help pay the compensation. He fell from the scaffolding and was paralyzed for life. Our relatives cut ties with us. When I opened my eyes, I was back on the cliffside on the day of the trip. This time, I kicked the drone into the lake without hesitation. The water swallowed it with a hollow gulp, and the surface closed over like nothing had happened. A second later, Melissa came running, bawling. "My dog has gone missing. Quick, help me look for him with your drone." I turned to her. "You should be calling the police and asking a professional search and rescue team for help if you want to look for your dog. Why are you looking for me instead?" Chapter 1. Lauren Brooks, are you out of your mind? Melissa stared at the ripples spreading across the lake, eyes practically popping out of her head. "That was a professional-grade drone you paid $28,000 for, and you just kicked it into the lake. What about my dog, Max?" Mascara-stained tears ran down her face, her breath coming in shallow, theatrical gasps. I looked at her coldly. Memories of my past life surfaced. This same person had once cried pitifully in front of the police, pointing at me and claiming I had been showing off the drone, sending me to prison for 3 years. My dad worked in construction to scrape together money for my bail, and ended up falling and breaking his spine, leaving him paralyzed for life. Meanwhile, Melissa had taken donations from her online followers, bought herself a new dog, and carried on her picture-perfect influencer lifestyle. I forced down the hatred and said, "I told you, if your dog's missing, call the police." Brushing dust off my pants, I added, "That drone was mine. If I wanted to hear it splash, that's my business. It has nothing to do with you." "You're heartless!" Greg Hawthorne stepped forward, shielding Melissa. "If something happens to Max, can you take responsibility?" I sneered. "She let her dog run off without a leash. Why should I take responsibility? How could you say such a thing?" Frank Woodruff, our supervisor, pushed through the crowd, beer belly leading. "Lauren, we're all colleagues here. We came here for team building, and we should all help each other out. Melissa's in trouble, and instead of helping, you deliberately destroyed search equipment. You're being nasty and destroying team harmony." Disgust was all that remained. Melissa grew dramatic. "Lauren, let me make this clear. If Max doesn't come back, I'll sue you for refusing to help." Others chimed in. "I always thought Lauren was nice. Who would have guessed that she's so cruel?" "Don't cry, Melissa. We'll help you look." I didn't bother explaining. I turned to leave. "Stop right there." Melissa rushed up and grabbed my arm. "Since the drone's gone, you're coming with me into the woods to search. If you don't bring Max back, you're not leaving here today." Chapter 2. I yanked my arm free. "Get out of my way. I'm not moving." Melissa dropped to the ground, throwing a tantrum. "Everyone look. The murderer is trying to run away. My dog Max was killed because of her," she yelled. But I noticed her gaze flicking toward me, gauging my reaction. Greg blocked my path, cracking his knuckles. "Lauren, Melissa asked you to go into the woods to look for Max. Are you deaf? If you refuse, I'll make sure you never leave this campsite." I pulled out my phone. "Fine. I'll call the police right now. Let them decide who's really the one causing trouble." I had just pressed 911 when a large hand snatched the phone. "What police?" Mr. Woodruff gripped it, face darkening. "This is a company team building trip. How will it look if you call the cops over? Do you want the entire industry